Dan Willis here, and we're talking about Hillcrest, Davidson, and Associates, and specifically how to negotiate a settlement agreement and potentially pay off Hillcrest, Davidson, and Associates collections, and so it will help to improve your credit score. Now, you only want to enter into negotiations directly with Hillcrest, Davidson, and Associates after your account has been validated and you've investigated that statute of limitations legal time window. We discussed that here in an earlier video. If you happen to miss it, we'll include a link in the description below. Now, if your account is validated and it's within the statute of limitations legal time window, our next step is to negotiate a settlement agreement directly with Hillcrest, Davidson, and Associates. And there's two parts to your agreement, and it's wise to get this in writing. First, we need to negotiate to settle the debt for less than the total balance. Often, you'll be able to negotiate to pay just a fraction of the account balance and can anticipate somewhere in the ballpark of 20% to about 40% of the total balance. For instance, with a $1,000 debt, you may be able to settle for just 25% or $250. This is standard operating practice within the debt collection industry, and Hillcrest, Davidson, and Associates should be thrilled to accept a settlement for less payment. But wait, we need to get the second part of your agreement in place. We need to get Hillcrest, Davidson, and Associates to agree that in exchange for your payment, they'll stop reporting your account information to all three credit bureaus. If we overlook this part of your settlement agreement, once we make payment, the only thing that'll happen will be a change in the status of that collection on your credit report. It'll go from an unpaid collection to a paid collection, and this is still a negative credit report item. And if you'd like some help, you can get a free credit report consultation by calling toll-free 1-844-517-7627. Now let's talk about what's called a pay for delete. Have you heard of this magical sounding approach to dealing with debt collectors called a pay for delete? It's where we demand the debt collectors first delete the collection from our credit reports, and once that's done, we promise, then we'll make payment. Sounds terrific. Unfortunately, we're more likely to see PETA opening up local butcher shops all across America. In other words, it's not based in reality, for many obvious reasons. In our decade-plus years of working with folks, we've yet to hear of one individual or one company ever successfully making this agreement. Instead, we encourage our members to get debt collectors to merely agree to stop reporting the account information to all three credit bureaus in exchange for payment. This will enable us to remove this collection from your credit report in our next step. And now let's discuss that, how to actually get these collections removed from your credit report. And to do this, we'll need to exercise more of your consumer rights. This time those granted by the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA. This federal legislation enables you to challenge and dispute any item on your credit reports so long as you believe it's inaccurate, made in error, or incorrect. And yes, we're going to dispute the Hillcrest, Davidson, and Associates collection item. There's three ways to dispute your credit report: online, over the phone, and by mail. Once the credit bureaus get your dispute, they first get to deem it valid or frivolous. Only on valid disputes are they required to investigate, and this is another conversation for another time and place. So make sure to visit the link in the description below over to an article at our website for the full story. We also have a free report available there for you, the 7 proven ways to boost your credit score. Now, once the credit bureaus get your dispute and find it valid, they're required to investigate. They'll call it a reinvestigation, during which they'll contact Hillcrest, Davidson, and Associates and request verification of the collection account. As per your settlement agreement, Hillcrest, Davidson, and Associates won't verify the account when the credit bureaus investigate. This is the second part of your settlement agreement about Hillcrest Davidson agreeing to stop reporting your account to all three credit bureaus. As a result, and in compliance with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the credit bureaus must remove this collection from your credit report. The Fair Credit Reporting Act is very clear. Every item on your credit report must be verifiable. This is how to clear your credit, and legally and by exercising your consumer rights. Contrary to popular belief, you're not just stuck with bad credit for 7 long, expensive, and embarrassing years. After all, if O.J. Simpson can get early release on a 33-year prison sentence after just serving 9 years, we're confident you can get early release from the maximum 7-year bad credit prison sentence and without good behavior. Did you know the Fair Credit Reporting Act says 7 years is the maximum amount of time most items can stay on your credit report? In other words, there is no minimum amount of time any negative item must remain on your credit reports. And to the surprise of many folks, every year the credit bureaus remove millions of negative items from consumers' credit reports. And if you'd like some help, you can get a free credit report consultation by calling toll-free 1-844-517-7627. By the way, if this collection is on all three of your credit reports with Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, you'll need to file 3 separate credit disputes, 1 dispute per bureau. And on an aside, today, due to amendments to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you can now dispute a data furnisher directly, thus bypassing the credit bureaus altogether. In this case, that'd be Hillcrest, Davidson, and Associates. Now let's wrap this together here. Debt collectors are not your friend. Hillcrest, Davidson, and Associates work on commission only, according to their website. Thus, they only get paid if you pay, as in your best interest is not their main priority. Living in our brave new world with less than perfect credit is no easy task. Our credit score virtually dictates our quality of life, from where our kids attend school, what we drive, our discretionary income, and so much more. The painful truth is the credit bureaus aren't your friend either. They have a long history of violating consumer rights, and the only reason they will correct errors on consumer credit reports is because federal law requires them to. In 2015, all 3 credit bureaus collectively agreed to settle and pay $6 million to 31 state attorneys general for violating consumer rights. 60 Minutes investigated this phenomenon and revealed just how darn near impossible it is for the average American to remove even the most obvious of credit report errors. This leaves millions of Americans feeling as if they're living in ancient biblical days and are David going into battle with Goliath. And you're telling me all I get is this lousy slingshot and a couple of pebbles? Come on, man! And we can't forget the Equifax data breach of 2017. This resulted in roughly 145 million Americans' financial data being stolen. This crime was committed by members of the army of China's Communist Party. If you're unfamiliar, communists are the last people you'd want to have any information about you and your family. Communism is responsible for the worst episodes of genocide in human history. By conservative estimates, in just the last 100 years, it's resulted in the death of over 100 million people. At the end of the day, your credit score is a lot like your grade point average, GPA, in glory school days past. It matters not if you're acing all your courses if you're failing Spanish class. That one negative mark is going to annihilate your overall GPA. This too is true of your credit score and why it's of such paramount importance to clean up credit report blemishes, dings, and remove any negative items. We encourage our members to consider professional credit score help in the form of legitimate, reputable, and legal credit repair services because the good news is in 2017 alone, over 10 million negative items were removed from consumers' credit reports. One of the best is the Lexington Law Firm. They've helped their clients successfully remove collections, late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, repossessions, and many more negative credit report items. If you'd like some help, you can get a free credit report consultation by calling toll-free 1-844-517-7627. Again, that's for a free credit report consultation, and the toll-free phone number is 1-844-517-7627. This is Dan Willis. We're going to include a link in the description below over to an article on our website for the full story. We also have a free report available there for you, the 7 proven ways to boost your credit score. And of course, subscribe and join our congregation. Have a wonderful day and looking forward to talking to you again here soon.